or who have been deported from the United States is that since January of 2025, around 62% of them have come on 1,080 Indians who have come back or who have been
Rishabh, on a
question regarding Khalistan elements. You know, our position has been around consistently 2% of them have come on several months and years now. We've conveyed our security concerns to the Canadian side.
Rishabh, on a question
urged them not to give any political space. Our position has extremist elements consistent. Those who advocate violence and those who several talk about secession told or we've conveyed our security concerns to the Canadian side, and we have also urged them not to take any political space to extremist elements, take due action those who advocate violence and those who talk about secession or who talk about separatism. I hope that the Canadian will take due note and will take due action against those who advocate anti-India agenda. तो 2023-24 में 3,30,000 भारतीय छात्र अमेरिका में तक भारतीय पढ़ाई के लिए गए थे। यहाँ का सवाल वहाँ पर ये डेटा जाते हैं पढ़ने के लिए। हाल ही में 23-24 में 3,30,000 भारतीय यूएस सरकार की तरफ से कुछ अपडेटेड गाइडेंस आई में वीजा एप्लीकेशन पढ़ाई के लिए गए थे या वहाँ पर तक भारतीय ये डेटा हम लोग छात्रों का वेलफेयर का सवाल है। ये हाल ही में हम लोगों ने देखा है कुछ रिपोर्ट पर ही भारत सरकार के लिए और यूएस सरकार भी इस प्रकार कुछ अपडेटेड गाइडेंस आई हैं वीजा मैटर को लेकर हम उसको बड़ी जहाँ तक पैनी नजर से छात्रों का फॉलो करने का सवाल है। ये हमारे लिए और ये भी सरकार के लिए जहाँ तक वीजा भी इस प्रकार का यूएस सरकार भी इस प्रकार कुछ गाइडेंस आई है उसको वीजा पैनी नजर से बड़ी जहाँ तक छात्रों का फॉलो करने का जहाँ तक वीजा भी इस प्रकार यूएस सरकार भी गाइडेंस आई है जहाँ तक छात्रों का फॉलो करने का जहाँ तक वीजा भी इस प्रकार यूएस सरकार भी जहाँ तक फॉलो करने का जहाँ तक module that we had program it was called E-Emergency X Miscellaneous Visa that has been discontinued, and we have a new visa module for Afghan nationals which came into effect on 29th April. So last month, 29th April, the all Afghan nationals can now apply for Indian visas in 6 categories, and they are medical visa, medical attendant visa, business visa, entry visa, student visa, and UN diplomatic visa. Afghan nationals who are in India on visas that were issued as per the old policy will have to now get it converted as per the new policy. They will have to approach the FRRO here in Delhi or in any other part of India as the case may be. The new visa module will help strengthen India-Afghanistan people-to-people ties further. On Iran, missing Iran of Indian nationals, of the 3 Indian nationals who have recently gone missing, I've given you an update. In regard to what Pranay said, that there were earlier also cases of some people having gone missing. On that, I think people have returned back. So sometimes these things happen. As and when such things happen, we take up these issues seriously through our embassy, and we see that our nationals are provided for, and we take care of their welfare, their safety and security. आपको लगा वो सवाल था ना, वो आप उसको जोड़ रहे हैं. जहां तक भारतीय नागरिक का सवाल है, जब भी कुछ ऐसा होता है तो हम लोग वहां के सरकार से मिलके उनसे बातचीत करके उनको वापस उनकी सुरक्षा के लिए वापस लाना चाहिए, और घर वापसी के लिए उनसे बातचीत करते हैं ताकि वापस आए जल्दी से. हेलो.
Yeah, so there is a report that Bangladesh is building a humanitarian corridor with Myanmar. There are issues of security involved there. So I would like to hear your response.
Gautam.
The same question, because most of the political parties and including the Bangladesh army has opposed the idea for a proposed corridor, human corridor, whether there is an important and in it, how India look at it, this corridor.
Shruti?
Sir, Shruti Ranjan from Bloomberg, sir. Wanted India's understanding on the statement that President Trump gave, discouraging Apple to build in, to make in India, and especially after India made all that effort to bring the Apple ecosystem to India. And also, sir, if you could give us an update on the trade negotiations that have happened with India and US. Are we expecting an early harvest? If so, how early?
Thursday.
In a U.S. Court of International Trade, the U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has submitted a statement in which he has claimed once again that the U.S. not only mediated to avert what they call a nuclear conflict between India and Pakistan, but that trade was used as a leverage. You've probably seen the document. And I know that you have already from this very stage made your statement already on the US having no role. My question is, now that the US is saying this on the record under oath, because it's a statement that could invite perjury if it's not true, how is India going to get over this? I would bring your attention to the fact that on the day that this was submitted, May 23rd, Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal was discussing the bilateral trade agreement there. The Foreign Secretary is in Washington. He has been meeting his counterparts. Has he raised this continuous American claim that has been denied on the record by India? I had a second short question, if you would permit. External Affairs Minister had gone to Germany. It was the first visit with the new government in place. I wondered if he brought up the issue of this young girl, Ariha, and whether there is any kind of new assurance from the German side that her case will be looked at again. Thank you.
Keshav?
Thank you, sir. Keshav from the print. My first question is, Secretary of State Marco Rubio last evening said that officials from countries will be, his exact statement is that there will be visa restrictions for officials from countries that harass American officials, which is a very wide-ranging term. So, is India concerned about this? Because anything could be considered under this, and therefore Indian officials could get sanctioned or face restrictions by the new US policy. So has India looked through this? Is it aware? Does it have any position on this? And secondly, on the question raised with regards to the US affidavit in this international court, in this court on trade yesterday in the US, the judges threw out the tariffs. What is the understanding from the Indian side or any guidance to our exporters with regards to the reciprocal tariffs that have been introduced by the government, which now the court has said is not applicable? Is there any suggestion or guidance that the government has so far on this? Thank you.
Okay, Kalol and Gautam, your questions on this particular development regarding humanitarian corridor. As I think I've earlier also have spoken on this. We follow such developments closely. So on your question, see, the India-US bilateral trade agreement negotiations are going on. We just had a team visiting the United States. So we'll have to wait for the negotiations to come to conclusion, and as in we have an update, we'll share with you. But this is an ongoing matter, so you'll have to bear it with us. As also on trade negotiation, I told you that these are ongoing matters, and hopefully we will have something to update you as and when things come to a fruition. Suhasini, on your question, see, I have already answered our position on this particular issue. I was answering one of the previous questions. Now, I have stated my position, and when I state my position, I do it as spokesperson of the Ministry of External Affairs of the Government of India with flags on both sides. That has an implication. It means a lot. On Foreign Secretary's visit, Foreign Secretary is visiting the United States from 27th to 29th. You would have seen and followed the kind of meetings that he's been having there. We will have a readout of the visit hopefully soon. He met Under Secretary Jeffrey Kessler to advance India-US cooperation in critical and emerging technologies. He also he led our delegation comprising Deputy NSA for the inter-agency discussions on India-US Compact for the 21st century. This meeting happened in the White House, discussions at the White House, and it focused on implementing the trust initiatives, which again is about critical minerals and critical and emerging technology partnerships. They also discussed defense and cooperation in area of defense and energy domains, as well as strengthening the Quad IMEC ITU initiatives. Foreign Secretary also had a meeting with the Deputy Secretary of State, Christopher Landau, and they discussed all aspects of India-US relationship. In particular, they agreed that technology, tech, trade and talent will shape the India-US partnership in the 21st century, and they both reaffirmed commitment to further strengthening the India-US comprehensive global strategic partnership. So whether this particular issue was raised, I would say that all issues of mutual interest was discussed between India and the United States. On the issue of Ariha Shah, we have been very closely following up this issue with the with the German authorities. I don't have an update to share, but hopefully we will come back to you. This is an important issue. We attached a lot of importance to it. We have been in touch with the government, not just the government authorities in Germany, but also the parents on our side, and we want to do our best to ensure her welfare and well-being. Keshav, see, visa matters, Keshav, are sovereign functions. So we'll have to, we saw some guidance coming from the United States on student visa matters. There we made a point that while it is a sovereign function, we expect and we hope that Indian students, application of Indian students will be considered on merit, and they'll be able to join their courses, their academic programs in the United States on time. There are other categories of visas which are also issued, and hopefully these are functions which lie in the sovereign domain, and we should be respectful of them. On the tariff issue, again, the affidavit that has been submitted on that particular issue, I have made our position very clear. I would refer you to our comments on that. On last 1-2 questions, please.
Salima Shirji, Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. I just want to follow up on a question from a previous question from a colleague about India-Canada ties. Has India received an invite to the G7 in Canada?
Manas.
This is Manas from PTI. Again, a question on Bangladesh. Somebody had asked a similar question. Yeah, so we have seen fresh wave of protest in Dhaka, and every political party in Bangladesh actually are demanding early election. In fact, I mean, they are asking for a specific time frame they're asking for the elections by end of this year or a specific time frame. But instead of answering these questions, Mohammad Yunus, the interim government chief, is trying to blame India by saying that the current crisis is a kind of product of conspiracy to establish Indian hegemony. So how do you see these developments, and particularly the very serious allegations by the interim head of Bangladesh?
So on Canada, I had spoken about your particular question in last presser. On that, I don't have an update. I have no information to share on this issue. Let me check and come back to you. On Bangladesh, Manas, we have articulated our position very clear as far as elections in Bangladesh is concerned, and we have done so consistently. Bangladesh needs to ascertain the will and mandate of the people by holding an inclusive, fair and free elections at an early date. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this session. Thank you very much. Friends, I open the floor for questions and I welcome you to this press briefing. We start here, Umar Shankar.
उमा शंकर सिंह एनडीटीवी इंडिया से पाकिस्तान के प्रधानमंत्री शहबाज शरीफ जो हैं वो पाकिस्तान हो, ईरान हो या अजरबैजान हो, हर जगह से ये बात कह रहे हैं कि भारत के साथ बातचीत चाहते हैं, और उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि काउंटर टेररिज्म पे भी बात चाहते हैं। तो क्या भारत ने अपने स्टैंड में कोई बदलाव लाया है या ला सकते हैं, या पहले की तरह अपने स्टैंड पे कायम है?
Siddhant.
Hi, sir, Siddhant. Sir, we have seen a court filing in which the Trump administration has claimed that because of the tariff threat that India, Pakistan were able to have that ceasefire understanding. What is India's